Julen Lopetegui will be the new manager of Real Madrid. The current Spanish national team coach has signed a 3-year deal to take charge of the reigning European champions, and he will leave his role at the end of the 2018 World Cup. Following the departure of Zinedine Zidane in mic-dropping fashion just days after he delivered a third straight European title, Real had been linked with bringing in Arsene Wenger, Antonio Conte and Mauricio Pochettino as their new boss. In a brief statement on their website, Real announced they've appointed the former FC Porto manager on the eve of the World Cup. Julen Lopetegui will be the Real Madrid coach after the celebration of the 2018 World Cup. Real Madrid announced that Julen Lopetegui will be the coach of the first team during the next 3 seasons. Julen Lopetegui will join the club after Spain's participation in the World Cup, after 2 years leading the national team. The 51-year-old has an impressive resume after leading Spain's youth national teams to glory and then leading the Spanish national team to a waltz through World Cup qualifying after he took over from Vicente Del Bosque in 2016. This is somewhat of a surprise, but Lopetegui is among the most promising coaches in the world, and he will now return to the club where he began his journey. Lopetegui graduated from Real's academy, but played just once for the first team in a nomadic 17-year career across Spain. Quite what this announcement means for Spain's chances of winning the World Cup this summer remain to be seen, but Lopetegui will no doubt be fully focused on guiding his nation to success to begin his reign as Real boss in the best possible fashion. Follow at JPW_NBC Sports. According to French media outlet RMC Sport, Tottenham has accepted a $40 million bid for 30-year-old Belgian midfielder Moussa Dembélé from an unnamed Chinese club. Dembélé, known for his exquisite dribbling and pinpoint distribution, came to Tottenham from Fulham back in the summer of 2012 and has made 236 total appearances for Spurs across all competitions. He has been often hampered with injuries, but when healthy has often been an automatic selection for manager Mauricio Pochettino. More, World Cup Group G preview. According to the report, Dembélé will wait to decide his future until after the 2018 World Cup, as he is currently on duty in the Belgium squad. Dembélé reportedly also has interest from Juventus, who could be looking for another midfielder with both Sami Khedira and Blaise Matuidi at 31 years old and injury-prone. The RMC report mentions that Spurs would prefer to sell Dembélé over signing him to a new contract due to his age. The report also mentions that these rumors could also be the doing of agents looking to test the market or leverage interest towards a new deal for their client. Dembélé's current deal with Spurs, he signed back in January of 2016, runs through the summer of 2019, meaning he will be a hot target with just 1 year remaining. Follow at _bonfire. Spanish Federation President Luis Rubiales appears to have nuked Spain's chances at the 2018 World Cup just 24 hours before the opening of the big dance. Rubiales pulled the power play of all power plays by sacking manager Julen Lopetegui for going behind the federation's back to negotiate a deal to become Real Madrid's new boss following the conclusion of the World Cup. After the deal leaked and Los Blancos confirmed the appointment, Rubiales heard the players and director of football Fernando Hierro all plead for support of Lopetegui, and then canned him anyways and put the woefully underqualified Hierro in charge. So how much does this truly affect Spain's ability to perform at a high level on the biggest soccer stage? A backroom overhaul at the eve of the World Cup is nothing to scoff at. There can be no greater upheaval to a squad's preparation than to have its leader undercut on the doorstep. However, the Spanish squad is full of tactically adept veterans such as Andres Iniesta, Sergio Ramos, Sergio Busquets, and many more. It's unlikely that their tactical makeup will change much, if at all, and with so little time to make any form of sweeping tactical changes, there will likely be close to no major shuffles to the deck. There was plenty of talk about how Lopetegui was less a tactical puppeteer and more of a mental facilitator during his time in charge of Spain. In fact, in his only club position, prior to taking the national team job, he failed in monumental fashion at Porto, unable to finish out his second season with the team in third in the Primera Liga and booted following a massive 6-1 Champions League defeat to Bayern Munich. Understanding Lopetegui's shaky managerial past is critical in deducing that his success with the national team could be as much or more down to his ability to balance his squad's egos and mental states than a tactical prowess. Thus, the squad may be able to continue on the field without Lopetegui's guidance and minimize the damage suffered by his sudden departure. Despite Lopetegui's success after minimal club experience, looking past Hierro's monumentally thin managerial resume is still very challenging. He has almost no experience leading a squad, and while he has spent the last year or so as director of football under Lopetegui, that's not nearly enough to instill massive confidence in his ability to lead the national team tactically and emotionally. His only job saw Real Oviedo miss out on the Segunda B division promotion playoffs on the final match of the season in 2017, leaving the club after just the one season. So will Lopetegui's sudden upheaval throw the Spain squad into irreparable chaos, or will Hierro be able to right the ship? Will the squad leadership be enough to see it through the maelstrom, or will the ship be swallowed beneath the stormy waters? It's unlikely the managerial change will have any major impact on their Group B finish, but with a potential quarter-final matchup against Argentina looming on the horizon, Spain could be headed for a second disappointing finish in a major tournament in the last 2 years, a result that fans are unlikely to take in stride. Follow at _bonfire. Gerard Piqué wants his team, and fans, to know that the turmoil surrounding the leadership of the Spanish national team is bringing the squad together, not tearing it apart. Also, he knows there's precedent for the situation they're in. Piqué posted on Twitter that they're channeling the 1989 Michigan Wolverines basketball team that won the NCAA tournament under interim head coach Steve Fisher. Piqué seems well-versed in the American sports comeback story. Universidad de Michigan, Baloncesto, 1989. Campeón de la NCAA. No sería la primera vez que occur. Todos Unidos, ahora más que nunca. Gerard Piqué, at 3 Gerard Piqué, June 13, 2018. Piqué's tweet reads, University of Michigan, basketball, 1989. NCAA champion. It wouldn't be the first time it happened. Altogether, now more than ever. Just prior to the 1989 NCAA tournament, Michigan basketball coach Bill Frieder announced he had accepted a position as the head coach of Arizona State, a position which he would take at the conclusion of the NCAA tournament. Michigan athletic director Bo Schembechler was so angry at the announcement that he fired Frieder on the spot, and hired top assistant Fisher to take his place and coach the tournament. The Wolverines went on to win the entire thing, toppling 2-seed North Carolina, 1-seed Illinois, and 3-seed Seton Hall on the way, winning the title by a single point in overtime over the Pirates. Upon the coaching change, Schembechler announced, a Michigan man is going to coach a Michigan team, spawning the popular phrase, Michigan man. Spain's interim coach Fernando Hierro is certainly a Spanish man himself, having appeared 89 times for the Spanish national team in his playing days, scoring 29 goals as a defender and appearing in 4 World Cups. Follow at _bonfire. According to multiple reports, UEFA has informed League One giants Paris Saint-Germain that the club must raise a significant amount of money through player transfer sales by the end of June, or else they will face the wrath of financial fair play sanctions. The amount of money in the ultimatum has varied between reports, with both French publication L'Équipe and the Financial Times reporting the club is required to raise $70 million, while Loïc Tanzi of RMC in France is reporting that number to be $47 million. More, France World Cup preview. UEFA released a statement on Wednesday to declare its investigation into PSG closed, but also said, the financial impact of transfer activities is from the 2017 summer, up to and including the upcoming transfer window, and compliance with the break-even requirement for the 2018 financial year will remain under close scrutiny and will be thoroughly looked at in the coming weeks. Financial fair play requires all clubs to balance income with expenditures and attempt to keep clubs from expending extraordinary, and therefore theoretically unfair, amounts of money on player transfers. PSG spent a massive $260 million on the purchase of Brazilian superstar Neymar last summer, a transfer that was muddied by the involvement of the Qatari royalty. They also have an obligation to complete the permanent transfer of Kylian Mbappé after this past campaign's season-long loan, which could potentially cost the club up to a reported $210 million. UEFA punishments for an FFP breach could include a fine, salary restrictions, squad restrictions, or worst of all a ban from European play. PSG has qualified for next season's Champions League group stage via their first-place finish in the Ligue 1 table. They could still be handed down a punishment should they fail to comply with the reported ultimatum. Players who could be sold include aging and expensive attackers Edinson Cavani, Angel Di Maria, and Javier Pastore, as well as midfielder Adrien Rabiot after his heated public response to being assigned reserve status for the French World Cup squad. Follow @the_bonfire.